So I just did a video about my adventures in audiobook capturing. And in order to get that video made, I had to go into one of the local antiques emporiums. And whilst I was there, something just caught my eye, as things do. And I asked if I could have a look at it. And so I came away from the shop with not only a Sony Walkman, but also this. Because this just made me laugh, because I thought, why on earth would somebody make a V storybook? Given the subject matter of V, I thought this is possibly the least appropriate thing to put in a kid's storybook I have ever imagined. But one of the reasons I got it though was that there actually is very, very little merchandise from V, as I understand it. There's some stuff from Brazil that I've seen mentioned in Toy Shop on Tour, but this is about the only other thing that I've ever come across personally, which is officially V branded, and it is copyright 1984 Warner Brothers. And then I literally only just looked at this, like on the back cover. I mean, that's the sort of thing that used to freak me out when I was little. I mean, I did manage to watch this because I was the master of the VHS recorder at home. I used to be able to time set stuff, so I could time set V and then see it after it was actually on. And of course, back in the day, it was pretty clever stuff with the special effects. I mean, obviously you look at it now with a much more adult brain and think that's a bit rubbish, actually. But back in the day, when you were that sort of age as I was, it was probably scary stuff. But it's sort of, it's got that, although that's an actual photo, the rest of it is more sort of, just kind of drawn stuff. And I haven't actually read it, so I don't know exactly what the storyline is. But it's actually not bad artwork. Those are quite recognisable as the characters from the mini series and so on. And I have to say, I did love V as a series, because you had proper sort of laser guns and big explosions, big spaceships, very cool shuttlecraft as well. I mean, as soon as I saw that on the cover, I thought, yeah, I'm having that, because I know what that is. So it's all very, it looks like someone's obviously put a bit of sort of effort into it. And there's a sort of story so far bit at the front, and the logos are all the right sort of logos for it. It's a fair dues to them. So I mean, of all the things to sort of randomly find, that was definitely right up there. I also found this. I've never seen this sort of thing before in there as well. But in one of the cabinets that was actually quite empty was this Tron Sark figure. And I checked the pricing on it, and the pricing actually didn't seem that unreasonable. And I quite like buying from the local stores, because I feel like I'm just sort of helping the more sort of local economy rather than just kind of getting it from a nameless eBay seller. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, I do buy a lot of stuff from eBay as well, because obviously otherwise it's very difficult to get hold of certain things. But when I can, I like to be able to get stuff from the local economy, if you like. So I've never actually had one of these before. I've seen them before, but I've never actually held one in my hands before, I don't think, because I did like Tron. But the existence of these toys completely passed me by, and obviously this actually came after the Tron. This is a 20th anniversary edition, so this only came out in the early 2000s, I'm guessing. But I have seen them on sites before now, and it's quite a nice back of the card as well, because that shows you what else was in the range. There's a light cycle and so on there, and this disc should light up if it's still got any juice left to it. So I'll have to leave it in the sun at some point and just see if it will actually light up. But it's one of those ones where I don't think I'd want to get it off the card, because it seems to be quite nicely on the card. And the other thing is that although it is a little bit dinged, it's a little bit torn just there in the corner. But the actual plastic colour is not yellowed, which I thought was quite nice. So I mean, I don't think it's like in massively collectible shape, but it's not in terrible shape, and it is on the card, give or take. So it's just a quite nice random thing to find. When as I often do, I went into the place looking for something completely different, and then ended up walking out with a Tron figure in a V book. So that's life. just wanted to show you a couple of other things that I've picked up over the last little while and haven't shown you yet, I don't think, or if I have, it was before I found out what some of them were. This little thing I picked up, it reminded me of Space Academy, which had James Doohan in it. But in fact, I've since seen them on other videos, and apparently they're actually they are linked with, although don't appear in, Battlestar Galactica, the original series, back in the 70s. So apparently that's what they flow from, but I'd never heard of them before. All it was described as was like a sort of a Hong Kong toy. That was literally all I had to go on. So it was only by sheer chance that I happened to sort of see it, and apparently they are Battlestar Galactica related. Now I also got this, and I thought it was Gundam related, because it looks like what are they called? Name's gone now. But basically the baddies. But hilariously, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be more like sort of, like Star Wars action figure kind of size, but it's actually teeny tiny. Thank you, dog. Thank you. Sorry about the dog. So, Jake, no. So I can't quite remember exactly what these guys are called, but they are the enemy units in the Gundam series, I think. And I think it's a knockoff, basically, of one of those. So it calls itself the Android Emprise. So I've no idea what they were even going for there. But I'm sure somebody can tell me in the comments exactly what that's supposed to be, because it clearly isn't, but that's what it was supposed to be. So that was just like a random little pickup. And finally, in terms of random pickups, this made me smile. And I know this isn't properly sort of vintage or anything, but apparently this is a Comic-Con version of Jane Cobb from Firefly and Serenity, of course, but with his famous hat, which he gets in one episode, which is what made me smile, made me want to get it as a random pickup off eBay. The card's in quite good nick. And this is a reaction figure. They recently released things like Indiana Jones, for example. So they do a lot of they do kind of modern releases of very old stuff, but they make it look like the old stuff as well, which is quite funny because Firefly has never been that old up to this point. But it is quite nice sort of the carded thing to have. It's just a little sort of, I just don't have anything. I do have some Firefly graphic novels actually, but I don't have anything that is remotely toy-like, sadly, because if Eagle Moss had done a Serenity, I would have had an Eagle Moss Serenity without a doubt. But I've never sourced one. I imagine there probably are models of it out there, but I've never sourced one. So this was just a little sort of impulse pickup, basically. It's quite cool though, because it means he's got a little sort of automatic rifle in there as well. So it's in fact, it might be the one that he named one, didn't he, once? So it might be that one. It doesn't seem. I can't quite see on the front of it. It mentions what it is. Yeah, 3.5 to 4 inches tall. Cool. Oh, the brand of Funko, actually. I don't think I realised that before. They're a subset of Funko, apparently. That's quite cool. It was a Comic-Con exclusive as well. So I just thought I'd pick that up. I mean, I've no idea if that has any real value to it, but it amused me because of the hat. So that was that. Yeah, so I think that's... I've got a few other bits and bobs that I'm going to be doing videos on shortly. So do like and subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. Cheers for now.